Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. I have with me two of my sisters, Marina, Heart Centered Tarot, and Val from Dragonfly Crystals or Next Level Channeling. And the lovely Miss Allie is missing tonight because she is joining Denise's birthday party, which I had forgotten completely about. So um, welcome, everyone. Have to be honest, right up from the start, I was completely stuck, could not think of a topic for tonight. And Val pulled it out last second, instant rescue. So um, I do appreciate it. And I'm going to impose on her in a minute to explain it because she's got a better grasp of it than I do. And then we can play our round robin thing. Just want to start out. Andrew is back in the States, so I'm hoping to have him on sometime soon. I was I I was really starting to worry because I hadn't heard from him in a few weeks, and I was like, please don't let him run into any trouble. But he's back. He sent me a text the other day. He's like, I got back in time for Thanksgiving, um, so I'm happy to hear that, and he was excited. Everybody likes his intros he's made for us. So I said, well, I get emailed almost every other day with somebody saying, you think he'd do one for me? And I'm like, "Yeah, email him and ask. That's. He said he enjoyed doing it. So, unless you catch him at a bad time when he doesn't have time to do it, you never know. And a big thank you to him for that. And of course, Andrew is our wonderful guy from androniki.com skincare, which we all love. Yes. And we all love it, love it, love it. And of course, Otter Spirit, I've got a couple of their bracelets on today. They kind of went with the blue in the shirt that I was wearing today. So, um, what is it? Lapis and blue apatite. So, I thought, okay, that works. That matches my shirt. I'll take those two out. And because I'm wearing it's my sister's shirt, my sister's Christmas shirt. So I was like, it's time to get in the mood. Um, and uh, I guess let's get right to it, and then we'll wrap up with what we got coming up, what's next, and all that fun stuff at the
Okay.
end of the show. So I'm gonna let Val explain the topic a little bit better than I will, and then we can go from there. So.
Okay. Well, so it's really sacred reciprocity, and um, just let me define that first. So reciprocity means we each give and receive in equal measure time, energy, voice, attention, and when reciprocity is met, everyone feels valued. The circle stays balanced and our collective wisdom rises. It's the sacred rhythm of harmony in all relationships and all creation. So, you know how if you've ever been in a relationship with somebody who doesn't give anything, and it's like
Yeah.
you hit a wall, and it's like you feel drained, you don't get anything back. It's That's another way of saying um, you're not in that flow. So that reciprocity, sacred reciprocity, is what we're really talking about. And that is in that expression and receiving the voice and silence, insight and integration, leadership and shared space. Um, Everyone feels valued. There's an energetic coherence that that is created in that kind of space. It prevents overwhelm or fragmentation just of your energy. Imagine having a relationship where you're putting your energy out, but nothing's coming back to you. Your energy is just scattered over there. What you've been filling the empty vessel of from you. Think of it like that. So it also mirrors cosmic order. Everything moves in cycles and rhythms. So uh, I hope that this in some way makes sense to you, that your give and take. And I know uh, I'll pass it back to you, Sherry, and you can think of some examples in your life, or hand it over to Marina.
Well, I can think of several examples in my life. Well, thank you, Val. Thank you for the topic because I went like totally blank. And I actually had 2 weeks to come up with a topic and thought of a couple and forgot to write them down. And then when I went to go take it out and like, let's flesh this out, I was like, I couldn't remember what they were
Yeah,
and I forgot to write them down. So I wasn't being very receptive with myself at that time. Um, I like your example of a relationship
yeah,
where you're the one, and we've all at one point or another in our lives have been in a relationship where you're giving, 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 and
yes,
it's like you're throwing it against the wall and nothing's coming back. At
no,
that point, that's when you usually go, okay, there's something wrong here, and either I need to walk away or we need to have a serious shakeup to find out what's going on. And the difference, I think, is when you meet that right person and suddenly you've got that flow coming and going. Good days, bad days, crazy days, whatever, you've still got that flow back and forth with each other. And I think that's what marks when we have found the right person for us.
exactly.
Um, and maybe they're not always the right person. Things may change down the road, but for that point in period in time, they are the right person
Hmm.
in that moment for you and you for them. Um, I know when I get asked with personal readings, is this person ever going to like me back or they're going to call or this? And it's like, you know what? You may be ready for them, but they're not ready for you yet. If they're not being willing to share their time back with you, then either that door is just not open or they still have work to do before they can be on the same plane as you for that discussion. And that's a hard reality, I think, for us to deal with, especially when you're ready and you feel like this is Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or whatever, and this is it. And it just doesn't go anywhere. It's just, flat as a balloon, um, like a deflated balloon, I should say. It's that can be very disturbing to our own energy and how we feel. I mean, we've all been through breakups. We've all had boyfriends and or girlfriends in the past that they just went their separate ways. In some relationships, you kind of just drift apart and come to the conclusion it's time for us to just be friends and not anything more. And I've had some really great long-term friendships come from relationships that ended that way because once we removed the specter of the romantic part of it, it was nice to discover, well, this is really a buddy, somebody I can talk to and I can just hang out with. And you take all that other tension away, and then you see a relationship really develop with a friendship. Um, Not everybody's able to do that, and not every breakup allows you to do that. There are some where it's like it's a good thing I don't have weapons, um, or someone may not walk out of the room breathing. We've had those bad breakups too. Um, so I like the way you would flesh that out in the beginning there, just like a relationship. And I keep thinking, God, I can remember all of the examples I just used. Guilty. I've had all of those at one time or another. So um, it's uh, it's the difference of listening and hearing. I mean, we may listen to each other, but are we really hearing what the other person is saying? Not just thinking about what am I going to respond, what am I going to respond, but actually just hearing what they're saying to us and letting that kind of energy come into us so that we can absorb it and then return it and give it back. And it's a much different conversation you have with someone when it's at that level as opposed to the very superficial of just yik yakking back and forth and you're not listening, you're not really listening to each other. Um, and so there's a lot of different ways to go with this, but my brain is kind of stuck with the relationship aspect of it. It's like I just went right into that. I was like, yeah, okay, I got you exactly where we're going there. Um, but that holds true for people you work with, maybe a boss you have, people you go to church with, um, people in your government that runs your government. It's like effective leadership is someone that's going to really hear what their constituents are saying. Just like on the job, a good boss is going to be someone that really hears what his employees are saying to him or her, um, and then giving that feedback back to them. Um, so there's just so many different ways it can affect us with that exchanging of full energy, back and forth exchange of energy. Um,
Exactly, because
and I'm
that's
sure I'll think of other things later on, but I'm going to let
no,
you take
that's
it out
well.
and
No,
go from
I'll go.
there.
You can go to Marina after this. I just want to say, yeah. So sacred reciprocity is the cosmic rhythm of unity. Nothing in creation flows one way. Harmony is born when energy circulates. So just like we were talking about in all those areas you mentioned, Shari. So yeah, we can throw it to Marina now.
All right, Miss Lovely Marina, give us your take.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, I think that reciprocity is when we all work together in for a common goal or a common outcome. And what is shared is always of equal value, and it is perceived as being equal value, not, well, so and so came up with a better idea than so and so did. And with that, that's not it. Reciprocity to me is very much kind of a one for one, not that anyone's keeping score. And it's also very much what you put out, you get back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So part of that sacred geometry is being mindful of that concept, that um, what you concentrate on, um, what you give attention to is what you are bringing forward. So when you think of it in those terms, the reciprocity is like one of those universal laws, right? That when you realize that that's the way that it works, it makes things flow a lot smoother. So that you don't need to re-explain yourself because people are coming at it together and um, they're kind of on they're everybody's in the same car traveling in the same direction,
Yeah,
right? No
exactly.
one is doing anything else. So um, I think the message of reciprocity is to be be careful what you wish for. Be careful where you put your intention. It's like the story of the wolf, right? The good wolf or the bad wolf. Which one is going to survive? The one you feed, right?
That's right.
So yeah, if you as long as we're working towards the same thing, if we all concentrate on the good and the positive and not worry about um, well, I spoke for 7 minutes and so spoke for 9 minutes, and that's not fair. I'm owed 2 minutes. That's not how life works, right? Yeah. We listen, we take the information in, we process it, and then we add to the goodness of the information. Right. So
That's right.
Yeah. I love the concept.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful concept. And
Yes.
you know when say you're having a relationship in a group setting, and when someone isn't vibing in that same collaborative situation.
Oh,
Val froze.
Oh, we all froze. Okay, we'll be back.
Oh, that's okay. Give me that.
We'll be back.
Did everybody freeze? I see you moving.
Yeah, and I see you moving. Val is the only one that's not moving.
Bippity boppity boo.
Yeah.
Just see if that would work.
Yes, yeah. Val,
Bippity
come back.
boppity boo. Where did I get that from?
Bippity boppity boo. From one of
That's
the
Cinderella, the Disney version, cartoon version. Yep,
Yes.
and she's gone. She'll be back.
She'll be back. She'll be back. Yeah. And I'm sure that what she had to say was very timely and profound. So we just have to hope that she remembers it.
Just have to wait for her to catch up. I'm trying to figure out why my camera got so screwed up. I know what it was. The cats knocked everything askew last night, and I was like having to re-put. Got really frustrated. Okay, that's better. Now you see my whole head, not just half my forehead. I was like, God, what is the deal? I kept wanting to duck down.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but it's a good. Is she back? There she is.
Oh, good.
And she's back.
My spotty internet. Sorry, everyone.
I said you probably said something very profound, and we hope that you could remember it so you could say it again.
Exactly. And I just want to say that it's also a way to understand that when you're not getting that energy back from someone in a collaboration or in just a general conversation, and no matter how you try to communicate, it's not happening. You're not obliged to stick it out. you can pull up stakes and go somewhere else. You don't have to sit in that, because that will empty you out like nobody's business. You'll be drained after that conversation because it's a one-way street. Energy is flowing from you, but not back to you. That's when you're going to feel tired. So on the other side of that, that's something to think about. But it really applies to any conversation, group discussions, just like Marina said, your relationships, like Shari said, communities, collective collaborations, spiritual gatherings, family.
Mm-hmm.
You ever have one family member who cuts you off and they're cold, they give you the cold shoulder till it's like, or all human to human to spirit interactions, no matter what. So yeah, what's going to happen? People are going to feel seen, voices honored, space shared, understanding deepens, and the field becomes coherent. The group energy rises, or they're in a relationship that just really makes that relationship more profound. It deepens it. There's no other way. So it's honoring the essence in everyone. This is the way in which we're going forward with everything in our lives, just to acknowledge that. So that energy that you're creating as a group ripples out it isn't just you and that person or you and that group. It is showing the way how to have that relationship, how to create that reciprocity, that free flow of energy going around. That's a magical thing when you're in a circle like that, when you're in a group.
That
Yeah.
pebble in the pond.
Yeah.
And you see the rings just go out and go out. But eventually it hits the shore and it'll come back.
Yes.
You know,
It
and
always comes back. It always cycles back to you. So remember, what you put out comes back like
that's
tenfold.
right. And didn't we all just go through this very concept a few days ago? I mean, last week, you know, Thanksgiving. I mean, a lot of us had to go and deal with family that we really don't want to spend time with because there's no reciprocity there. You've either got
It's almost like you have to put on a false front.
faces.
Yeah, false
Right.
face.
It's like everybody puts this mask on to get through the day, but nobody is really listening to what the other person is saying. No one is really sharing that information. Or else there's one or two people within the group that have just either they're going to try to destroy what's being shared, or they're just going to, it's like just talking to the wall. You know, it's like I'd do better to go talk to the wall than to talk to you. The wall would give me some kind of response of energy back at me. You're not giving me anything. I mean, you know, it's like when you're feeling that energy drain of going outside and hugging a tree.
Yeah.
Are a lot of people going to think you're crazy? Yeah. But go do it and find out what it feels like. Because you can feel the tree hugging you back, even though it doesn't move its branches to wrap around you. But you can feel that energy, you know.
And you know, you reminded me, Shari, of something about my daughter-in-law's father, who's like about 86 or 7. He now has Alzheimer's, which is kind of sad. But he, from I've known him like 20, some odd year. I've known him longer than that, probably 30 years. And from the time I met him, he never had a normal conversation. He only told his stories. He never asked, "Oh, how are you? How's your day going? How are you doing? Oh, what's that project that you're working on? How's that going?" No, he would just launch into a story from years ago. And his full conversation in all these 30 years literally is a story about something in the past. And there was no way to reach in there and have a relationship with somebody like that.
Yeah, I've known people like that.
I've never known anyone like that. I was like,
I've had a couple of great uncles that were like that. So yeah,
I'm like,
and it was just, we were kids, you know, we were just like, oh, crazy Uncle Joe talking wacko again. But you know, or those that they can only talk about the war, or you have the opposite effect of the ones that just will not discuss the war and they get upset if you bring it up. We're talking World War II and Vietnam, y'all. Aging myself here. Those were the wars that were discussed when I was a kid at the table.
The reason why I brought that up, though, Shari, is because my daughter-in-law said to me, "Mom, my dad never had a normal conversation with me, ever."
Yeah.
It's not just in that public setting at Thanksgiving or Christmas. He just never did.
The only way he knew how to communicate.
It was all about, well, he is a Leo, folks. So,
Yeah.
it was all about him.
But you know, some people don't know how to interact with others.
That is exactly, could be, right? I mean, I don't know. I do know that when he was in the military, they almost wanted to kick him out numerous times because he he would fight with the supervisors or whatever ranks they were on how certain jobs should be done. So,
That is someone with very, very limited communication skills,
yeah,
who's probably mirroring the way that they were brought up,
yeah,
which is
Mhm.
your opinion has no consequence.
exactly,
The only opinion that is worthwhile is mine.
exactly.
And so, yeah, you just need to sit back quietly and listen while I dispense my wisdom,
Exactly.
because that's the only thing that has any value.
That makes perfect sense because I think he had a father like that. I mean, he had an upbringing like that too. That
Yes.
man was, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
just like the families that I've had friends, who and gone to family things, at their house, and it was like no one disagreed with dad, with father. It just whatever he said was decreed, that was gospel, end of discussion. And I can remember sitting there being like,
Yeah.
well, that's not how it happened. My friend would be like, no, don't say nothing, don't say nothing. It's like, do they do it because it's the only way they know how to communicate, or do they do it because they're trying to get that conversation going, but they don't know how to have a normal conversation? So it has to be a controversial conversation as opposed to just we see it two different ways. I mean, and
Mhm.
in the political sphere that we live in the last 20, 30 years, we've all experienced that, where you have those that are willing to discuss separate ideas, and you
Yes.
come away at the end of it and go, well, we just have to agree to disagree. And then there are those that you would think that you were life or death, and
Oh.
they're ready to take your firstborn child away from you because you argue with them. I mean, I'm
Exactly.
going to extremes here, but that's how it
But,
can make you
you
feel,
just hit on the other side of my coin. So my daughter-in-law's mother is so right wing that if my daughter-in-law says anything, she uses the Catholic Church to say, "You're going to hell. I'm praying for you." And then she gets mad at her. She won't talk to her for days and or hang up on her. I mean, she will yell at her.
Yeah.
All these things because she doesn't agree with
Got a
her.
few relatives like that too.
So, I mean, not having the space. So it seems like there's a lot of fear in that kind of ideology where,
Mhm.
There is.
yeah,
And I'm sure that 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 this marriage, I think, would be an interesting thing to study, because each
it
one of
would.
them, yeah, has brought a past into that relationship, and neither one of them, they're more concerned with being right than
Yes.
being happy.
Interestingly true.
Yes.
Interestingly true. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Very, very much
and I'm
so.
sure that if you sat them down and said, "Can you see what it is that you're doing here?" They would look at you and go, "No, we're fine. We're happy.
Exactly.
What's wrong with
That's
you?
exactly what they would say.
I'm here all
We
week."
have the perfect marriage. Why would you think we don't have the perfect marriage?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've known people like that.
Yes.
But I just thought that
And
was an
it's
interesting thing.
Mhm.
it's scary though sometimes when you look at people, when you meet people like that. It's like, can you not shut down your I have to be right all the time
Yeah.
demon and just talk and share an idea, because especially those, and this, I'm not knocking religion here, what you believe is what you believe,
Yeah.
but there are some religions that tend to be very extremist, as well as there are some congregational members of religions who take it to that extreme,
Mm.
to where you can't get past the religion, whether if it's, someone who's Catholic and you got to go do 50 Hail Marys and 10 novenas and get on your knees and blah, blah, blah. Or whether if it's, an evangelical church where everything is hellfire, brimstone, and you're all going to burn in hell and da, 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 da. It's like, can we not have a happy medium? you know, for those of us who don't believe in either one of those extremes, can we not meet in the middle? It's in a way, it's sad because they are denying themselves the joy of having that relationship with another person or multiple people that maybe would have wonderful ideas to do or think about things that would totally just open up their minds to a different way of thinking or a different way of acting that would bring so much joy and happiness into their lives. But they're so shut down to that they can't.
They have to give up their position to be right, just like Marina said. They have to give it up. They have to surrender that aspect of the ego. And then when they don't have a need to be right anymore, any position in front of them could just be, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. If they don't have a position, they aren't going to get triggered. So it's that simple. You can dance around it all you want, but it's buying into the idea that your position is the only position. Yes. Your perspective of the world is it, and those who don't follow you are, falling off the edge of the earth.
Well, it's like the father that
reciprocity comes in, because that is, if you look back into their family dynamic, they were probably never heard, or they were never encouraged to express an opinion other than simply repeating what they have been told. So they don't see that there's anything wrong or illogical with their way of thinking, because that's just the way that it's always been.
Yes. I don't think we ever had conversations in their family to experience that back and forth of, like playing, even when you play Monopoly or whatever card, and you're going back and forth and you're razzing somebody and they're razzing you and you're going around the board.
Yes.
It's that kind of, you're just having a family get together and the energy's flowing. Everybody's in the same game. So I don't think they ever experienced that.
No. With them, it's where we may be playing Monopoly, but I have to win.
Oh yeah,
and I'm going to get angry if I don't. Yeah, if I don't win, I'm going to get angry.
And then it's not fun.
Exactly. And who wants to spend time with people who are constantly concerned with being right, with this is the way that I've done things, this is what you should do, and it doesn't make for great conversation. It doesn't make for great relationships, right? Even with like someone
not at all
with friends. Yeah, if your friends or being with your quote unquote friends is taking all your energy, and when you're done having dinner with them or coffee or whatever, you walk away thinking, oh God, I'm drained. Rethink that relationship, because there is no reciprocity. So
it's like meeting with that same friend or that same family member on a regular basis, and it's always the same exact conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they cannot talk about anything else. It's always that same conversation that's either wrapped around their.
They need. I'm sorry, Shari, I'm interrupting.
No,
they need to take Marina's class about changing the tape.
Change the tape. Yes.
You can sign up for that at marinasheartcentertarot.com at your earliest convenience to get rid of that old playing stuff that you don't know why you're doing it, but every time you get together with your family, you're running the same old scenario. You just go into autopilot.
Exactly. It's autopilot. Perfect way to put it. Um, and you have a lot of people, like the father-in-law, um,
Mhm.
who they grew up in a time when the father had the absolute word. The mother did not talk back because women at that point in time weren't considered full human beings. They
Yes.
were property.
Yes,
They were owned by the father or the husband.
exactly.
Therefore, they didn't have their own opinions or they weren't allowed to have their own opinions. And so, for older, now, most of that generation has kind of died out at this point, but there's still a few of us around that remember having family members like that,
Yes.
um, where there was no there was no equality in the relationship.
Mhm.
Everything was, or you had a family where the mother was the one. I mean, she laid down the law. Even dad did. Whatever mom says, okay. I mean, it's like she was the one that held everybody, you know, at knife point almost. Just
Yeah.
she was the boss, and so then you go around and you be in a family where you have the parents that are giving and taking, and they're both sharing and doing things together, and they're listening to their kids, and it's like you walking into another planet. Like, what
Mhm.
universe am I in? Um it
Yes.
can be quite it can be terrifying for some people to see that difference compared to how maybe they grew up to experiencing that, or the reverse. They grew up in that very open family, and then suddenly they're around this other family where it's so buttoned up and tight that they squeak when they even think. So it that in and of itself can shut down conversations. Say as you and your current person you're dating, boyfriend, girlfriend, and one family is very open and whatnot, and the other family is like locked down tight. And you wonder, well, what the hell? How did the kids get together if they come from two different? Because they're both looking for something in the other that they were missing to maybe not, a big bunch, but just a little bit even. But it's then to experience another family when you go back
Or
and you're like,
or
how did they
they
even function?
they may be looking for the same pattern that they had, but they don't know it.
Exactly.
They don't know
Exactly.
they're shopping for the same template and they don't
Yeah,
realize
it's the same as
they
being
haven't
told, well, she
changed
married her
the
dad or he married his mom.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of that, when you're very young and you go out, don't get married before you're 30 because your brain's still growing till you're 25. I mean,
Amen.
But we're in love. You don't know what it's like to be in love. Oh,
honestly, it is totally
And people are living longer nowadays,
yeah,
so wait until you're in your 30s or
wait,
your 40s.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
absolutely. I remember somebody, and this was a joke, but the fella had celebrated his 20th wedding anniversary, and his wife came in the bedroom, and there he is sitting on the bed crying, and she said, "Oh, honey, what's wrong? What happened? Why are you crying?" And he said, "If I'd have killed you, I'd have been out on parole by now."
Ah,
Exactly, right? He
Yeah,
could have been over by now, but they're
that's
still
right. Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah. But it's always interesting, I think, to watch different family dynamics
Mhm.
and how quickly I think you can tune into, um, who the role that everyone
Who
plays
wears the
in the
pants?
family. who wears the pants? Who's the martyr in the family? The silent sufferer.
There's always a murder. Yes.
There's always, yeah. Who is the let's say the favored child?
Yeah. Who's the golden child?
Yes, and who's the black sheep in the family, and what, and just by watching their interactions, you can kind of understand how everyone is playing a role, and then someone new comes in and totally upsets the apple cart by saying, "Hey, what? Where'd you get that impression? Why do you think that? Can you explain that to me?" You're not playing right.
You literally can watch people's brains short circuit right in front of you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's an
I was lucky. My mother was the black sheep. So my brother and I were raised very open-mindedly compared to the rest of the family. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My mom was the black sheep too, because she didn't go into the Catholic.
yeah, exactly. My mother was like, I don't need a man to take care of me. I don't need a man to pay my bills. I can take care of my own kids by myself. Yes. And that drove the women in her time, and we're talking 60s, 70s, that drove them crazy, because society as we knew it in that point in time is women did not function without a husband or a father to take care of,
And I'm sure, Shari, that a lot of them secretly admired her. And that's what made them angrier, was the fact that she was doing something that they wished that they could do, but they didn't have the courage to do it.
Exactly.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's really
exactly
true. Because it still was not looked upon well if you divorced. Like a divorce was a stain on on you in some way back then.
We'll try an illegitimate child and a divorce.
There you go. I mean, that would be
my mama like double whammied it, man. She did both.
I mean, that takes a lot of courage to be.
That's it.
To be your authentic self, go out there and be.
And she still did it her way. And in the end, most of the family wound up truly admiring her.
Yeah.
Because she lived her life the way she wanted to live it, and to hell with everybody else. And I think a lot of her cousins, and definitely some of the older aunties and uncles and stuff, I think really admired her later down the road, because she didn't, she was like, I'm not doing that. You must be crazy. It just went on about doing her own thing. So, yeah, I mean, but I've known people that have lived in those very buttoned up lifestyles who appear to be very happy.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's the paradigm for both of them. And so they fit into those slots, and everything rolls right along smoothly.
Yeah. And don't forget too, that there's very, very often that people who don't want to take responsibility for some of the decisions they make, or for some of the things that they do, will very often team up with a partner that they can acquiesce to. You know what, I just do what I'm told. He tells me what to do, and I just do it. And that,
right.
While they may again appear very happy on the surface, it's not genuine. It's not true reciprocity, because you're not sharing ideas. You're simply abdicating your role in anything, saying, I'm not responsible for anything that happens in this marriage. It's all up to him or her.
And I have to say, that's my daughter-in-law's parents. So in their situation, they really are not standing in their authentic self, either one of them. They're in these fake roles that they're playing, stepping out of their own power and being letting everybody else take their power because they don't want the responsibility. Like the mom, she puts it all on Larry, even though he has Alzheimer's. She still, oh, that's Larry's job. Larry takes care of that. Mom, why is the cat locked in the barn for 5 days with no food? Well, that's Larry's job to open the barn.
Yeah.
How do you argue with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Which just goes to show the importance of being able to truly be able to talk to one another and hear one another what you're each saying, and having that open flow dialogue back and forth, you know. The earlier the better, so that you don't spend 30 years with the wrong person and discover one day I'm miserable as hell. Why is that? Because I married that dumbass over there. So I mean, you know, it can be that cut and dried with it, or it can take even longer. You know, when I was 14, 15, we had gone, my mother and I had gone to her father's house. Now, I didn't really grow up around that side of the family because they were considered a bad influence. Um, Hence why my grandmother had divorced him at such a, you know, when my mom and my aunt were real young. Um, but we had gone over to, what is that noise? We had gone over to my papa's, and his mother was still alive at that time. And we were sitting at the table, and I remember she looked at me and just a minute and asked me, well, how old are you? And I told her 14, 15. And she thought about it for a minute, and she's like, don't ever marry them. Just live with him. And when you get tired of his crap, you can kick his ass out. And I was like, you could have knocked me over with a feather, because this was my great grandmother telling me this at the age of 14. And my mom was like, oh, that's a good one, Mama. Thank you. You know?
Yes.
Because basically my mother had already told me that very thing.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
So-
Absolutely.
That's from a long line of women who didn't want to give their power away.
Yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Well, one thing that I still have a hard time with, and I'm so glad that it's changing, is the traditional wedding vows, where the first thing that happens is your father gives you away,
Yeah.
right? And then once he gives you away, you immediately promise to love, honor, and obey the man who is taking you over.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, not in this lifetime.
My father never gave me away. He stood there. We were just married in a chapel. So he stood on the side. We just got married. It wasn't any walking down the aisle thing. But then when I got married to John, my boys, my grown-up adult children, walked on both sides of my arms up the aisle. So that was cute. And I didn't think of it as giving away.
Exactly.
It's like we're walking to this new part of our lives with this person that's coming into our family. But yeah. And the vows, in the olden days, they used to say man and wife, not man and woman.
Yeah.
Because the wife is chattel property. Everything else. There's only the man.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I never, when I got married, it was a downtown justice of the peace. And don't anything having to do with obey or whatnot. You need to take that out. That's not going to work.
We wrote ours. There's no obeying stuff in there.
Well, you could have done it like me and got married by an old justice of the peace who didn't speak English.
Oh yeah.
Except for a few words, who just looked at us and said, oh, he gonna take her, she gonna take him. They married. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those were my wedding vows. And that's
I
as
mean, 'cause
simple
I
as
mean,
he put it.
it
He
worked.
gonna take her, she gonna take him. They married, yeah. And that was it. Okay. End of discussion. And I mean, you can talk to anybody that was at my wedding and they start laughing the minute you mention it. Before anything gets spoken about it, they just start laughing because it was like Murphy's Law went into full effect the day I got married. Everything that could go wrong did, and then some.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it was hilarious, really. It wasn't at the time, but later on it was funny. But yeah,
And
we
really,
used to laugh about
when you think about it, that's exactly what happened. Okay, these two people came in front of me. She said yes to him. He said yes to her. Bye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
What else do you need?
Well, and it was when we hired him, I had spoke to the wife. And so she didn't tell me that he didn't speak English except for a couple of sentences. He only spoke French, so
Yeah.
and we're like telling him, how we want it to be done. And he's just like nodding his head, like he completely understood us. He didn't know what we were saying. He just knew that we were the two getting married, and that's all that mattered. So
That's all you
I
have
thought
to
my
know.
godparents were going to just drop through the floor. They were so petrified of it. They haven't talked to me since because I didn't get married in the church. So, it was like, yeah, well, the priest wouldn't marry us because they said he was still married to his first wife that he got divorced from years ago,
Yeah.
who was remarried with 5 kids. But no, they were still married, it's like, so yeah, we didn't we didn't have enough moolah to smooth that over with the current church that we were living next to. So but it was all good. It was funny. I mean, at the time I was like, oh my God, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And so I just got drunk.
Yeah, there you go.
I hit the champagne and said, hell with this. I literally went and got one of the bottles of champagne, went and sat down, uncorked it, and just started chugging. If anybody came over, I was like, this is my bottle. Go get your own.
Yes. Yes.
Wow,
Exactly.
I wouldn't have been able to get up the next day.
Absolutely.
You're giving me a hangover.
Yes.
I couldn't do that today.
Oh, yeah. When you get older, your body doesn't get rid of the toxins so promptly anymore.
There was a lot of things that I used to could do when I was younger that I can't do anymore.
Yeah, like walk across the room without falling down, and
Yes.
I could dance. I could actually jog down the street.
Yes. I remember it well. Go after work, quickly changing into the dance clothes, going to
Can you imagine?
going to
With
a bar or a pub, meeting everyone that we were going dancing with. And, you have a good time. You go to the disco. That was in the days of disco.
Yeah.
You disco dance till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You got home. You went to bed. You slept for an hour. You woke up. You had a shower. You went to work. You did it again.
Yes, exactly. Who could live like that now? Our bodies won't.
And you did it wearing 4 and 5-inch heel shoes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
There weren't
No,
any toxins involved. No.
9:30, 10 o'clock. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, no, get out of my way. This is my bedtime.
Yeah. And like Don Turner said, remembering why you crossed the room. Exactly. Why am I here?
Yeah, exactly. I know I came in for something, but I just don't remember what it was.
Yes.
So then you turn around and go back to the room you were in thinking, well, if I repeat myself, it'll come back to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I remember hearing a long time ago that the question was, where is the seat of memory? Where is your memory located? And the person finally said, it's in your butt. Because when you get up and you go to another room, and when you get there, you can't remember why you're there. You go back to where you were, you sit down. The minute that your butt touches the seat, you'll remember.
That is so true, Marina.
Yes.
I've never heard it put that way, but that is
Yeah.
awesome.
It is a very true experience. The minute you sit down, exactly. It does hit you right then and there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And Tibbs BK says, I'm at the age that if you see me running, even a brisk jog, know that the world is ending behind me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Exactly.
This has been fabulous. This has been a lovely, lovely discussion. And so, yeah, just before we go, what have you ladies got happening on your channels that you want to let everybody know about?
Oh,
Well, why don't you go first, Marina?
yeah.
Oh, since I started it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have I've been telling everyone that is a member on my channel to please make sure that you email me your email address so that I can include you in the invite that's going out for the December 13th members only get together. It's going to be on Zoom. And the reason that I've kind of been highlighting it for the last week is I have been extremely fortunate this year, and particularly over the last couple months, in terms of not only subscribers, but as well as members and so on, people coming to the channel. And I want to be able to do something for the members as a thank you. So I'll be announcing that at the get together on the 13th. You don't want to miss it because it's fabulous. And it's so much better than, everybody gets a 30-minute reading. No, you can get that anytime. This is truly fabulous. So make sure that I have your email address. You can go to to my website, Marina's Heart Center Tarot. Take a look at getting in and booking yourself a reading, or purchasing a gift card for someone else to get a reading. Particularly as we are approaching, we're ending the 9-year cycle, we're going into the 1-year cycle. You want to have a bird's eye view of what's happening. And you do that by booking a reading with me, with Val, with Shari. It's absolutely a golden opportunity. And when you gift someone a reading, especially if it's something that they would benefit from, but they would never do themselves, you're not just buying a trinket, you're buying an experience. It's something that they are going to remember for a very, very long time. So that's kind of the big things that I'm focusing on. I am forever grateful. I'm well over 18,000 subscribers, and I wish I could give each and every one of you a great big hug. Because yes, thank you. And I want to show my appreciation. So there you go. That's what I've got going on.
And Val?
Okay, so I have coming up, folks, sign up, quickly run, take your big leap into 2026 by signing up for the Akashic Record Reading class. Yes, you will, beginner level, walk away reading the records. This class is on Saturday. You can sign up at dragonflycrystals.store, not .com, .store. That is Saturday the 6th. Also, there's a Val and Arthur Zoom event on December 13th. You can sign up for that. There's still a few places available where we read for you personally, but it's in front of the group, and you get 10 minutes of pure channeling and information, which feels like a half an hour in that group setting. Also, you can still sign up. There's still a couple of spots available for Val and Arthur in person in Las Vegas at the Golden Nugget for March 15th, 2026. And that you can sign up for dragonflycrystals.store. Also, other classes that I offer on my website. Sign up for those because you are important. You get to experience these things. Yes, beginner level, get in there. I don't care what level you're at. These classes will rock your world. So yeah, that's it. That's my spiel.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I don't have any classes, but I'm about a little, I'm right around 700 away from hitting my 10,000 subscriber goal. So please, please, please go subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and make sure you subscribe to these two lovely ladies' channels as well. So yeah, I'm at like 93 something. So I'm like almost there. It's starting to, I'm at the point now where it's like, don't look, don't look, don't look.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
A pot,
but I've got,
boils.
Yes.
exactly. For the month of December, I'm running a 25% off on all personal readings. That's for all 3 readings that I offer, which is a 60-minute Zoom, a 30-minute Zoom, or an email reading where you just send me a question and I will email you back the response to that question. And so I'm doing 25% off for the month of December, because when January starts, new prices go into effect. So last minute for the holidays, blow it out. Um, get your readings while the price will be discounted. You can, like Marina was saying, somebody you know may want a reading and they just would never buy that for themselves. You can do it for them. And if you're interested, just email me at swampvoices@gmail.com. And I'm hoping to have the scheduling page done by the end of the year. When the last 2 weeks of December, I get off. We get vacations, so camp is closed. I'll actually be home all day and all night to work on everything. So I'm hoping to get caught up on some stuff. And other than that, just the regular scheduled shows. And yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. So that's all I can think of.
Sounds great. Sounds great. All right.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank all of you for joining us tonight. Please, please, please be sure you go to each of our channels, like, share, and subscribe. After the show is over, if you will come back in and leave a comment of at least 7 characters, something about the number 7, I don't know, but it kicks in on the algorithm. Also, YouTube has been on a purge recently.
Yes.
I've been hearing from other channels I listen to that have like millions of people, and they're talking about, man, I'm like, just dropped, 50,000 people. I'm like, jeez, you just dropped 50,000? Must be nice.
Yes.
But they're kind of freaking out about it too, and it's just YouTube's on another purge round. So make sure you go in and you check who you're subscribed to and that you're still subscribed, because they will go through randomly, and no rhyme or reason to it. They just randomly will unsubscribe people. So double check who you want to be subscribed to. And I would say do it once a month just to be on the safe side. And yeah, excuse me, y'all have yourself a great rest of your week. You can tell I just drank a Coke. And now it's going to start burping. And y'all have a great rest of your week. Got a big weekend coming up. Full moon is it tonight or is it next Wednesday night? I think it's next Wednesday night is the full moon. I don't.
I'm looking
I
at
don't
my
have my.
calendar. I can't see it.
Oh
well.
I don't know.
Someone will tell me the day before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Well, and I've got it written down in my day planner, which is still packed in my briefcase because I came in and threw everything on the bed and I didn't unpack anything. So, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Val, for the topic. And as I was going blank, and and y'all have a great evening. The rest of your week.
Bye,
Perfect.
everyone.
You're almost to the weekend. You're halfway there.
Yes. Yep. See you later.
Jesus, all the pop-ups. Now I can't get signed out.
Yeah.
Invariably, the minute it's time for me to close out, I'll suddenly have 20 pop-ups to show up. And I can't get to the end of stream. All right. Bye, y'all.